Hello, everyone. This is Shawn 1113, your host for the Shawn 1113 podcast show. Thank you for joining me wherever you're listening this podcast to, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to have the college football picks. Like I said, this is the only podcast. Well, this is really the only podcast you will hear more about sports and college football, NFL football when it needed. Like I said, on my YouTube channel, we'll talk more about um, the NFL picks there. And I'll put the link in the description where I get all that from. But also the college football picks as well, in a little bit more detail. But in my IMO, it's time. The season is here. The NFL's here. College is here. But before I do that, I want to take pause for a moment. Two people who have passed away recently. One of them, maybe I wasn't familiar with his music other than Margarita Bell, but R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett, who passed away this Saturday on the 2nd of September. I mean, he made it. He made music easy going, and I think his contribution to music is never going to be forgotten. But I think also in business, that one song became a huge business. Like Dolly Parton made other things like Dollywood and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Jimmy Buffett made a fortune and made a business for himself as well, and that should be respected by anybody. And like I said, he actually probably owned the Dolphins and the Heat, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know about it. I mean, if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section or in my email. I'll list that. But it's real sad to hear that. And then something that most of us generations that grew up, probably the greatest game show host of all time, Bob Barker. I forgot to mention that last week because that was last Saturday before previously. But I got to tell you, Barker was one of the greatest game show hosts of all time, an animal rights activist as well. He not only did Truth or Consequences, Price is Right, he also did the Miss Universe and USA pageants for many, many years as well until he just said, no, no more fur coats done by animals, humane animals and all that stuff. So let's don't forget that. But the memories of Bob Barker comes pretty much start with my late mother mentioning she loved three things: bingo, soap operas, and The Price is Right with Bob Barker. I mean, there is no doubt. There is no doubt about that. When as I was growing up, The Price is Right has always been. Who would carry different? That's fine, but there's no one will ever be a great game show host. Bob Eubanks, Jim Lang, Tom Kennedy. The only other person who is Pat Sajak. The only other one that is probably even close to Bob Barker's level was Alice Trebek, in my opinion. So, R.I.P. Bob Barker, R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. Now, let's go to the college football review. And college football was actually two things. The Florida State win over LSU was impressive. And then the Colorado upset over TCU. Travis Hunter, Shakur Sanders like I said, it's one game, but man, they made it. Man, did they ever... man, did they ever make that happen. I mean, just an amazing performance by Colorado. And it goes to show you how overrated TCU was last year. I'm sorry. They were. And if it was indicative of the 65-7 score Georgia put up in the championship game, it shows you how overrated TCU was last year. Like, they're the Minnesota Vikings of college football because there were some games they had no business winning when they easily could have lost. I mean, yeah. I'm just, that's all I'm saying about that. We'll see what happens from there. Oh, now, I forgot to mention this as well. Major League Baseball still on going to the playoffs. Then you'll soon have NBA, NHL, U.S. Open tennis still on. We'll see what Coco Golf is still doing. But I gotta tell you, it's gonna be, like I said, the fall is here, the end of summer, fall, and we'll have so much to choose from this fall. Now on to the college football picks. Week 2. Texas and Alabama is the big one. I'm picking Alabama. Appalachian State and North Carolina, picking North Carolina. Notre Dame and NC State. This is a game that, in my opinion, might be an upset, but I'm picking Notre Dame here there. Texas A&M or Miami, Florida, picking Miami. Iowa and Iowa State, picking Iowa State. Here's the game to watch though. Ole Miss and Tulane. I'm going to pick Ole Miss in a close one. UCLA and San Diego State, picking UCLA. Oregon and Texas Tech, picking Oregon. Auburn and California, picking California. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, picking Cincinnati. SMU and Oklahoma, picking Oklahoma. Texas State and UTSA, picking UTSA. Nebraska and Colorado, picking Colorado. And then I'm going to put one FCS game. And it's a big one, though. Montana State and South Dakota State, picking South Dakota State in that one. And with that, that is your Shawn Steele's College Football Picks 2023-2024 Week 2. And I almost forgot to mention this. If you like what you hear, just send me an email at Shawn47k@gmail.com. That's Shawn47k @gmail.com. Or hit the voice mail messaging at Shawn at Spotify for podcasters.com. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today. But that is it for the Shawn 1113 Cast Show. Thank you for listening. So much for listening. And please stay encouraged no matter what.